Is that recording?
Yeah, it's
for sure.
recording.
Okay.
Okay. Can it hear us?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Metal and Miniatures podcast, where we take a jack of all trades, master of none approach to podcasting topics.
I'm Josh.
And I'm John. And we actually have a big surprise.
Huge.
Monstrous.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell them.
So we thought about it, and we enjoy the Metal and Miniatures name. We really do. But we decided that we are going to take a different approach and rename the podcast. And as you will see with our upcoming podcast, it'll take a little bit of a different turn, but still have the same idea.
I think we're focusing we're trying to focus how we approach topics.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, this is a rebranding, really, of the same podcast. So you'll be able to pick it up on all the same avenues that you've listened to before. We're just changing the name and trying to change the format so that it's a little bit more understandable.
No new hosts or anything. Same hosts.
Unfortunately.
You're stuck with us.
So, for the first time ever, welcome to the Don't Make It Awkward podcast, because we're going to talk about it anyway.
That's right.
So, Don't Make It Awkward. My co-host, Josh, is here.
Yep.
I am another co-host, John. Thank you.
Yep.
And then we have a wonderful guest of ours, Matt. Welcome to the first time ever to the Don't Make It Awkward
podcast,
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, Don't Make It Awkward. Thanks for coming.
To be here.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, why you deserve to be here, why you're special?
Yeah.
I don't deserve to be here, but I am special because I'm a ginger. First things first.
But just to be clear, I'm outnumbered by gingers in the room.
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like a half ginger, though.
Yeah, he's
that's
not
true.
full ginger.
I'm
He's not full ginger.
He's
He hasn't
as
gone full
hateful as
ginger.
one.
So
but
does he
not
still have
full
a soul?
ginger. He definitely does not have a soul.
I'm a self-hating ginger. Well, tonight, our topic is hilarious, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, don't make it awkward, things we f***ing hate.
Yeah, sums it up pretty well.
A little harsh.
A little harsh.
I
Don't make it awkward.
I wonder if we need to, tell people right off the bat that this seems to be like a PG-13-ish kind of podcast, but you'd think that like people, I don't know. Is there any such thing as a podcast that's not PG-13?
Most of them would be, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are PG-13, I guess, but
I just think that most people who would listen are already grown up to know, that we use adult language and adult themes and things like that.
Is there even a rating such as that for radio?
not for podcasts.
Not for podcasts.
It's just whatever you say
Do they
goes.
have any kind of radio rating? Nothing.
Radio rating, but no,
Yeah.
not for podcasts.
Well, we have 5 stars or 2 thumbs
we
up.
do, yeah, we do. On our
Obviously.
rating. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, but no. As far as the, what you can say, you can pretty much say whatever you want. But we just, and even by changing the name, kind of alludes that we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. Don't make it awkward.
I agree,
You know?
and that's why, and that's a good segue, Josh. Actually, to we're going to talk about things that we hate, things that we fucking hate.
Yeah,
right.
It could be anything. Yeah.
So, I think it's always good form to let a guest go first.
I agree.
So, Matt, why don't you hit us with the first thing that you hate?
I think one of the first things, and actually it's right in front of me too.
Oh, ouch! That hurts my
Yeah,
feelings a little bit.
Just so everybody
No,
knows
not
that
you as
John is right
people.
in front of you, not me. I'm to the side of you.
Not you, gentlemen. The chords. Every time, just chords. They always have a fucking knot in them. Look at your chords on your thing. It has a knot. I go in my garage. I have tools, shop stuff, lights, generator hooked up. All the cords, there's either a fucking knot in it, or they're just a mess from hell, and I hate it. I hate that. Look, you even have a knot in your one going to your mic. I don't know if you do it on purpose, but there's always a knot in cords, and cords are always such a mess, and that's one thing I've hated.
Kate, I understand you're heated. Now, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Did you, prior to coming here and see our shitty
You have a knot
mess,
in yours too.
Yeah, well,
No, this
back
is
off.
before. This
Okay.
is before.
So you thought about this
Yeah.
before,
Oh, yeah.
and
I
when I
promise.
was setting up, and I didn't care where the cords
No.
went, and it was a mess. And I was even explaining what kind of mess it was. It was like a rat tail. It's called something, and I don't know what it is.
I think it's just a rat's nest. It's a
Rat's nest. Yeah.
No, it's something else. So it's a tangle of rats' tails, and that would bug you.
No. Do you remember when we were working on your car using my generator?
Yeah.
And I asked you if you had a power cord.
yes.
Do you remember me freaking out about that?
No, not
Because
at
I was
all.
like, why isn't it long enough? And you're like, oh, let me kick all these freaking knots out of it.
The only way I can relate to you is when there is a knot in, let's say, the headphones to the iPod or whatever, right? And so like you
Exactly.
lift up, and it's you're like, there's like 7
When you have it
knots.
in your pocket or something.
When you have it in your pocket, there's like 7 knots, and you realize like, why don't I just untangle it instead of try to have my head down on my chest?
Yeah. So when I run with the iPod, and I like to put it in my pocket when I run, it's if it has too many knots in it, it's hanging by my belly button, just swinging, right? And it's just like this can't be. But other than the iPod,
That's pretty much it.
yeah.
How many times though has the iPod have they ripped out of your ears? I just thought about it the other day, and it ripped out of my ears. I just wanted to punch something because it was so frustrating because it like popped out of my ears.
I have a funny story about that, actually. I was actually, Matt, this is when you and I were running together, and it was after you and I had already separated. You were going to your house, I was going to mine, and as I was running, because I'm pretty sure because there was knots in it, the earphones popped out while I was running, and so I was trying to grab them while I was maintaining pace, and then I tripped on a rock and totally ate shit, like on the sidewalk. So now that I'm thinking about it, because I'd like to blame that on a naughty cord instead of a naughty cord. instead of my stupidity,
It's
right?
a naughty cord.
Bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I'm a little bit more pissed off about knots and cords.
I can agree with you, but I mean I get tangled up in all kinds of cords. But I'll agree.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
my one.
All right.
Okay, that's good. Josh,
You would like me to go next?
sure.
Okay, unless you were going to go next.
Age before
That's fine.
beauty.
I'll go next. Okay, so my next one, my first one. Okay, my first one. So I was thinking about it, and I've been thinking about this probably way too hard, more than I should have for this topic. But I was thinking about people that they feel entitled and are impatient. But just to say that is not enough. Okay,
Oh,
there needs to
okay.
be an example. I should say.
Okay.
Because yes, people that are impatient and feel entitled, I hate.
I think a lot of people are going to be nodding their 6 people are going to be nodding their heads right about now.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
But okay, so to sum it up, and I thought about this the other day while in line at the grocery store. So when you're in line, I don't know if this happened to you, but you have someone standing there at the cashier or being helped by whoever is helping them, and they're frustrated. You can visibly see that they're extremely frustrated. They're huffing and puffing. They're whatever it is, whatever stupid thing that is making them angry. And then they turn to you, who's standing next to him, like, "Can you believe this guy?"
Yeah,
and they want you
to support them.
to support them in their frustration, and I don't even care. I don't have anywhere to go, so I don't care. And and they get impatient, and it's like they feel the poor cashier has just murdered their family. Really, and they're so frustrated because the jar of pickles didn't ring up as the right price.
Right.
And so that just sums up their impatience and their entitlement, for the correct price.
You think that they feel justified in their assholery right?
Right. Yes.
And they want you to support them in that justification, but you're
Yeah.
just like,
So
They want to include you, yes.
are they getting frustrated because of the millions of couponers that take 7 hours for $5 saving? Or is it the guy that just barely started 2 days before that?
Well,
17-year-old and
either way, I
doesn't
think it's
know
still
what to do paper, plastic.
It's still
yet.
the same idea because they're impatient and
Yeah.
they feel entitled. The most I see it is when someone is at the cashier and doing it to the cashier like it's their fault that this company has wronged them, you know, and it's their fault that the cashier, you know, and then like so they look for you for approval, and I just stone cold stand there like without even any expression, and so they give up, which is great.
well, that's your normal expression. It's just like
Right.
soulless.
Yeah, exactly, and I try to maintain that.
That's a good one.
You know,
I like that one
so that's my 2 cents.
because I think the same goes for waiters and waitresses.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I agree.
Totally.
Complete. Did you know that people? This is what they do. They're visiting the restaurant or eating at the restaurant. They sit like a stack of ones on the table and they take one away every time something goes wrong, and they'll take $1 away. Like you're not getting that tip.
I kid
Serious?
you. I kid you not.
You've seen someone
I
do
have.
that?
I have.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it.
I have family who has said that exact thing, that they do that, and not only
that
do
they do it.
yes, not only they not only do they just set it on the table, but they tell the waiter / waitress, right? Listen, this stack of ones is your tip. Every time that blank happens, my drink isn't refilled or whatever, I'm taking one away.
That is
And,
terrible.
I think, what a Scrooge. Just if you want a hard job, be a waiter.
yeah,
right.
Oh, yeah. I can't even imagine.
And so
my wife was a waiter, and she's told me that. That's why, Matt, I know that story. Is
What-
because she's told that to me before.
While we're on the tipping weight, what's the highest tip you've ever given out? Just maybe you're on a date, like when I went, for instance.
honestly,
the most I ever
by
tipped.
accident,
Oh, by
100
accident.
100%.
That's pretty good.
I swear.
I don't
I
think
did.
I've ever done 100%. Since my wife was a waitress, we always tip really well. So, I mean, I don't know the percentage wise, but I mean, at a not very expensive meal, it's not unheard of to do $10-15,
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the highest we ever did in a dollar amount was 35,
No.
which was about
That's
10% more than the total.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes,
the person was awesome.
yeah,
Hey.
sometimes they're way good and you want to pay for it.
Listen, I think that when I go out to eat, most of why I do that isn't necessarily for taste, although that's a bonus because I like cooking. But it's really because I just don't want to work. I just want my food brought to me. I want the dishes washed by someone else,
The mess is really wide too, yeah.
and I'm happy to pay for that. By tip. Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, that was a
there's
good tangent
All right,
also.
great. So I'm curious. I have been curious of what you are going to come up with.
Okay.
Because I know you hate a lot of things.
Yeah, like I bitch and moan a lot.
Yeah. It was almost going to be one of my things.
Especially, I especially bitch and moan a lot to you guys because
Which is okay.
We're always hanging out, right? And so it was hard for me to actually think of some things that maybe you guys haven't heard of, just to get a raw reaction from you guys. So here we go. So the first thing that I f***ing hate is when sweat drips off of my armpit hair onto my side, and then it makes my eyes water.
What? I mean, I can see that you have sweaty armpits.
Shit!
You're
I totally am
perspirating.
right now. Yeah,
It's Great Salt Lake.
Okay, wait,
underneath your
before you say
armpit right
anything,
now.
let me try to summarize what you just said.
okay, do it.
So, when sweat drips off your armpit, Matt, are you with me on this
Oh,
too?
yeah.
Onto your side, it makes your eyes water?
The corner of your eyes are tearing up a little.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is. So okay, let me give you a story. You gave an example of yours, right? So
Yeah, that's...
okay, so I just recently took my kindergartner to a daddy and daughter dance at her school. So I dressed up, in my nice shirt. She wanted me to wear a bow tie and the whole thing. So it was fun. And we're out there at this elementary school gymnasium, and obviously there's 100 other dads in there, and thousands of little girls. Way too loud, way too annoying. But for my daughter, it was worth it, right? And so, and I'm dancing, I'm lifting her up, she's having a good time, and obviously, I start to sweat a little bit, and because the shirt is loose, somehow, instead of catching any kind of perspiration, sweat dropped off of my armpit, on just down my side, down my ribs. And I don't know why, but my reaction to that is my eyes start watering because of that. I don't know. It's like a natural reaction.
Are you crying?
No, it's just like a I don't know.
Sound effects doesn't help.
I wish people could see my face when I just did that, but she's like, "Oh, that's gross," and it's uncomfortable, and I don't know.
I've felt that before. I've had sweat.
But you haven't. Your eyes
eyes
haven't watered.
No, that's
okay. So you
weird.
can at least connect halfway
That's
through.
extremely weird.
I don't really sweat that much, to be honest with you.
So anyway, and I hate that because it's just so disgusting, right? It doesn't matter how. I mean, especially I don't know if you guys have been to a lot of dances or clubs or whatever, but you always
No.
sweat. Well, we know, Josh. It's okay.
So you
but-
cry when you're disgusted.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the correlation between the.
It's just a natural. For me, it's a
Is
natural
it sweat
body
coming out of?
If someone came up to your doorstep and took a shit on it, you would cry right then and there.
No, I'm not. I don't.
Am I spinning this the wrong way?
A little,
I think
only about
completely the
180
wrong way,
degrees.
yeah.
So,
Um,
I'm not a crier, but because I'm a man.
I can see you being a just tear jerker.
But I don't know, just something about the sweat dripping off my, just the feeling of it, going down my side makes my eyes
Okay.
water. I don't know.
I'll try to take a stab at it.
Wait, no, I want to finish.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm finished.
Could there possibly be any more? So you're when you eat like a sour piece of candy or a lozenge, your eyes could water. So maybe some sort of connection between your sides, and the saltiness of your sweat dripping down your side
No,
triggers
No,
the
you're
waterness of your eyes.
You're
spinning
almost
way further than me.
You're almost as weird as Matt on this spin. It's
Absolutely
just,
not.
For me, it's just that's just the way my body reacts to feeling that
Okay.
disgusting,
So if
sweat.
someone tickled
Okay.
your side with a light pen touch or a feather, it would
Okay.
feel that same thing.
There
we
you
can
go.
try.
Is
We
it
can
a
try that
feeling?
after we're done recording.
Great, we'll try it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's fair enough. You
Anyway,
hate it.
Anyway, so if you can't connect with the eyes watering, at least connect with the sweat dripping off onto your sides and how disgusting
do
it is. And I
connect.
f***ing hate that. Doesn't
Okay.
matter how much deodorant I put on, right? It's just gross.
Okay. That's
And
fair
I hate
enough.
it. I
You
really hate it. I really do.
It sounds like it.
I do. And I don't appreciate you guys making fun of me about it either.
It sounds like you're a little self-conscious about it, so we're trying not to.
Maybe that's why I hate it.
Maybe you're embarrassed and your eyes water when you're embarrassed.
Maybe I'm crying about being embarrassed. But look, I'm pitting out right now.
Yeah, you're a little.
It-
Yeah.
Matt just pointed it out.
Yeah.
And Salt Lake armpit.
Gross. Okay,
is
Matt.
gross.
And salty.
What else do you
The next
hate?
thing that I f***ing hate, it's kind of a twofer.
Okay.
Graffiti and or littering, in the middle of nowhere. Like national park type thing. And that's been a big topic on the news lately. But last time and I were 50 miles into the middle of Zion's Park, out of nowhere, you see a used condom wrapper or a Sprite can. And there should be nobody there in existence before you, but obviously there was somebody, and it sucks. That feeling that you get when you see someone had littered and you had just hiked your ass off into the middle of nowhere and you see a Snickers wrapper there, it just makes me so mad.
Same for Three Musketeer.
What about
Three Musket, no,
Well,
no,
Milky
one, no
Way.
one eats that.
Milky Way?
That's true.
No, Snickers,
Okay.
because it
Okay.
gives you energy.
So
But any kind of littering and graffiti in the middle of nowhere. And do you guys remember a while ago in Zion National Park when someone tipped over in Goblin Valley, someone tipped over that rock?
yeah, right after we
It's
went,
Glenn
actually.
Taylor and Dave something.
You know their
Complete
names?
oh, dude, I Facebook stalked him
because Goblin Valley is awesome. So yeah, I was very disappointed in that.
Sorry for name dropping.
No, I mean that's totally fine.
no,
if,
I just
if
don't
they
want-
ruin
no,
things, then they
but
should
stuff
have their
like
name
that.
dropped.
No,
that kind of ties
their
in with the
names are
graffiti.
public record. I just don't want you incriminating yourself for threatening those guys.
They had so
Did you
many,
threaten them?
No, I did.
Well, then we're
not.
fine.
But that's what I mean.
Because
That
so
ties
many
in with,
people are going to listen to this.
like graffiti, littering, and defacing something that's never gonna
Question.
thousands of years to make.
Well, no, I want to ask the question
in 1
first.
second.
You guys have been
Destroy.
getting the questions in.
Okay,
So,
I'll ask second.
okay, thank you.
Just
Thank
don't
you.
take my question.
We're just talking about, in your own words, middle of nowhere places. Like, you don't care if someone graffitis, for instance, some random ass building.
It's a fence across the street that has gang graffiti on it.
Yeah,
That doesn't bother me as much.
Okay.
If you're in
So-
the middle of nowhere,
but like,
it's because you go to a place like that to escape all of this.
You're talking
you
about-
want to know someone was there.
you're talking about like
before
in
you,
nature. So
Yeah.
how about carving your name in a tree?
That's the same thing.
Okay.
But that doesn't really bother me because you don't
As
really
much.
see that as much.
Okay.
I've never been 50 miles in the middle of nowhere and seen like MT plus HR in the inside of a heart. I've never seen that.
That's fine. So when I go hiking, that's the most stuff I notice is people just messing around with the trees, like with knives and stuff, and that kind of pisses me off.
Now that you say that, I'm going to start noticing it a ton
So-
more, I'm sure.
But graffiti, I don't know of any like.
But that's still defacing
I agree.
in the middle of nowhere.
Well, see, my thing is, I completely get the littering and the Goblin Valley thing. With graffiti, I guess it depends where it's at, but some graffiti makes it look even better than it did before.
There's a few cases of that, yeah.
Not graffiti in the middle of nowhere though. That's
No.
That's some punk ass kid
Yeah.
scribbling his name with spray paint.
But I mean,
you
on
know?
a wall that's just kind of old and not necessarily used, kind
But
of like
that's
you're talking
local,
about.
though. That is
Yeah,
stuff
I guess
doesn't
it'd be
bother
more
me
local,
much.
so that doesn't bother you because
No.
I think graffiti artists
Like downtown,
really,
have you
a
seen
lot
some of
really
the really
good.
cool, like old music, the metal shop?
Yes,
You know that wall on
I'm
that
familiar.
walkway? That's amazing. It changes all the time. You've seen it painted, right?
I
in
know.
that
I was
main
going to pretend
hallway?
I did, but I don't. But
No, in
I
their
bet it's
main-
pretty cool.
In their main hallway, you can tell someone spent hours upon hours graffitiing this hallway, and you have to walk there to get to the metal shop, and it kind of correlates usually with their music.
Yeah, I like graffiti as an art, but I think there's a huge difference between some of the artistic graffiti that's put out like purposely on walls. There's walls that are dedicated for people to come and just like keep covering and recovering it.
Yeah.
But in the middle of nowhere, on rocks, places you hike, trees, that's just some idiot
Yeah.
doing that. And I'm with you. That pisses me off. That's unacceptable. That's immature. The reason why we have those places is to try to enjoy, to get away from civilization or whatever,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'll agree with that one.
okay. That was another good one.
Yeah, another
Good job,
another
Matt.
good one from Matthew. Okay.
Despite the incriminating.
Yeah, I mean he's incriminated
Yeah.
incriminated himself.
Do you need another drink?
No, I'm okay. Okay, so I will do my next one. So basically, it's cautionary statements, but specific cautionary statements. Okay, when someone says, "I'm not racist," but you know that it's going to be clearly
Oh yeah.
and undisputably racist. Okay,
100%.
100%. Because they wouldn't start with that because they think that it's going to take it down a notch when they say that to you, but you know it's going to be racist.
No offense, but
That was my next part is
Right.
no offense, but and you're like, I'm going to take complete offense to that.
I'm purposely saying something offensive, but because I said that, it means I'm safe.
Yeah.
You can't be offended by it.
Right.
As soon as you say both of your points too, it catches your attention more. if you're
Exactly.
actually
Then
paying
you're gonna
Right.
be like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Or like, I'm not homophobic, but I hate gay people. Right? I mean,
I'm with you.
I don't know how else to explain it. But
I think that is a consequence of just people not really understanding what's coming out of their mouth. People think that literally, if they say something like that, I'm not racist, but, or no offense, but
Mm-hmm.
they literally think that people will, give them the benefit of the doubt for saying something stupid or racist or homophobic or whatever. And I don't know. I just think that for the most part, smart people won't let that shit fly in conversation,
Yeah, or even semi-smart people will understand that that's what they're going to state. But I think it's nowadays when you see that type of thing, like race people being racist or whatever, it's not blatant, like things that they say aren't just blatant, but they try to cover it up. But then that's where you see the racism come in.
What's really funny is I think that this is all speculation on my part, right? But I think that the new fad, instead of saying the cautionary before saying the statement, the new thing now is to say whatever the hell you want to say, and then when people call you on it saying that's messed up, they say, I have the right to my opinion. That's the new thing, right? Is I have the right to my opinion. And the answer is, of course you do, right?
Yeah.
Of course they do. But I have the right to tell you that your opinion is f***ing stupid and that you're an idiot, right?
Exactly. People don't understand that when they say, well, it's free speech.
Right, exactly.
But I have the free speech to say that was completely
just
ignorant.
Just because you have the freedom to say something doesn't mean it's not stupid.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's not uneducated. Doesn't mean it's not bigoted, right?
Yep.
So I'm with you 100%.
Yeah,
And you said this because you knew it would get me going, actually.
It would get you going.
Because now I'm pissed off at those people. So
Yep. So
getting on my soapbox.
The media totally takes two spin-offs of both of those too. There was a show or some famous person said the whole no offense thing. I can't remember what I watched it on, but it was an episode or something. Does it come to mind of you?
No, I don't know what it is, but they will do it in shows or media
Tons.
and try to cover it up.
Yeah, I think that
maybe a little more tactfully.
I think that people feel like people get really attached to the ideas that they hold, right? And they feel like when you attack an idea, that means you're attacking them as an individual. And that can be the case if you're an asshole, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at least in my experience, because we talked about Facebook posters, our first
That
episode,
was what it
actually.
reminded me. Yes.
And attacking an idea is a total legitimate, responsible thing to do if you disagree with it.
Mm-hmm.
And learning how to do that without attacking a person is actually fairly easy. I think people take more offense to it more than people actually attack an individual.
Yeah.
And if you are disagreeing with it rather than agreeing with the person, they're going to take more offense to it too.
Yeah, and I think people just need to, people need to relax and stop being so attached to, like take ownership for what you say and what you believe in, right? But, but be willing to understand that, hey, some people just don't feel the same way, and be willing to talk about that.
When they say things like that, a lot of people assume that you're going to agree with them. They really do. They assume that whatever they're going to say, that you're going to agree with it, and they're kind of shocked when you don't agree with them.
Yeah,
which is kind of strange. But anyway, I knew that would get you going. But I fully hate that. I wholeheartedly hate that.
So now we're getting a little heavy, right? Because I was going to save a funny one for last. So try to keep everyone who's listening, all 6 of you, well 5 now that Matt's here.
Right.
All 5 of you that are listening, just push through this really shitty, heavy part of the podcast. We know it's awkward. Deal with it.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
What we're going to talk about it.
So the second thing I hate is, and this is actually very general and broad because I don't want to narrow it down.
Okay.
To hurt specific people's feelings.
That's very kind of you.
So I hate people who are extremely opinionated but not very well informed about the thing that they're opinionated with. I mean, for God's sake, this is the age of information, right? Like, all it takes is for you to fucking Google whatever the hell you want to Google, vaccines or whatever, okay? And to learn something. Stop, staring at your your blog post of
What should
I
wear
hate
today?
I hate vaccines.com, or I just think that people, if you're going to hold an opinion on something, then you should be well informed on that topic.
I 100% agree with you, and that's a very good one to come up with. This happens a lot on Facebook. I see that people will see an article about something, maybe a shooting, something that happens, and the first thing that comes out, they'll come up with they'll be flabbergasted as to what's happening, and then you'll read the real story and be like, that is nothing what happened. You have not looked up into this topic whatsoever.
I just, again, this is, I don't know if I can, stress this enough. Like, this is an age of information, right? And that means, in all fairness, that even bad information gets spread, right? Mm-hmm. Because anyone can say anything at any time. Mm-hmm. And so now, while before it was simply just listening to the news, back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, to understand what's happening. Now it's sifting through shitty news and finding what. And so now that's listening or reading or watching multiple stories on the same or multiple takes on the same topic in order to understand. Okay, it's probably somewhere here in the middle, instead of because oh man, because people will take. Because they'll come with some preconception of an idea, right? I've already kind of let the cat out of the bag on the whole anti-vaccine thing, right?
Yeah.
So, and in order to maintain their stance on being anti-vaccine, all they will read is anti-vaccine stories or blogs, or and instead of just becoming well informed on the science of vaccines and medicine. And understand that, it might be flawed, but, and giving the whole reasons why it's an important thing to do. It just, I don't know. I'm pissed. I get pissed off by it. It's stupid people. It's very intelligent people holding very stupid ideas.
Right. Yeah. It's not that they're not intelligent.
Agreed.
All it takes is a couple seconds or a couple minutes of playing devil's advocate. That's all it takes.
Right.
Just look at what the opposite side, which I try to do every time I look something up, because I love an issue and I'm like finding all the good stuff and high-fiving everybody that's with that issue, and then I'm like, all it takes is 2 seconds of being devil's advocate.
You also have tons of people out there that are the people that are, if you read it on the internet, it's true no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Well,
so it could go really bad
Yep.
in the opposite way of what you wanted them to do, too.
Well, that's what I'm saying is instead of it being reading information now, which before worked because, media was way more honest, had way more integrity back 30, 40 years ago. Yeah. Now it's, you have to sift through a bunch of garbage, right, to find, okay,
where's the source coming from?
That's right, and I think that a lot of people fail at that unintentionally, right? I think that they do trust news sources or blog or
I think we're all probably guilty of it at one time or another.
Totally. I'm pissed off at myself for doing the same thing, right? And so, I think that listening or reading news, whatever it may be, or something on a topic, and then trying to gain as much information as you can, and then forming your opinion is a better thing to do than to form your opinion off of the first
thing that pops up on Google.
That's right. So,
yep.
Anyway, age of information, people, use it.
Yeah.
There's so much good information out there. Learn how to sift through the shitty information and get the good stuff, and then your opinions won't just be off of, I hate blank.com. It'll be, whatever things you value, like a scientific research or whatever. Anyway.
Learn to back up whatever someone is going to oppose your argument on.
That's right.
Yeah. So I agree with that 100%.
An informed opinion is better than a biased
opinion.
opinion.
You got it.
That's
exactly.
Right. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. Off my soapbox now.
That was heavy.
Do you have something lighter?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, we need something lighter here.
One of the things that I absolutely fucking hate, you're in your car, say whatever time. One example specifically, I went to my favorite restaurant to get a burrito. I won't name it. And this is what you hear on the other end. And you're like, can you say that again? I hear you. All I wanted was a mixed breakfast burrito. And your response back. No, I don't want 75 tacos. I said I want one mixed breakfast burrito. Anytime you go to a place like that, any fast food restaurant, why can't they have decent microphones? Or like you know what I'm talking about? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
It's
talking
the
about.
worst thing known to man.
And I
hate
sometimes will just agree with them.
Even the loud mics.
Even if it chances me getting the wrong item, I just say, yep, that's correct.
And then your total's $95 when you ordered one burrito and a Coke.
Or you get chicken nuggets when you clearly ordered a Big Mac. I won't name any sources or whether McDonald's, though.
Well, I was about to mention, because Big Macs are sold everywhere.
Yeah.
In all types of restaurants. Yeah, that. Well, I kind of have kind of a spin-off of that, Matt, is how about when the microphone is clear as day at the restaurant through the drive-through. Oh my gee. We just spilled. I just want to know. Josh just spilled beer.
Do we have a napkin before
All
it gets any
over.
electronic equipment? Oh, well, no, we can't use that. Hold on a second. Great, we found a T-shirt.
Amateurs. That's definitely on camera too, by the way.
I don't think anything important was ruined yet.
No.
I got really excited about your topic, Matt.
So last time I was at
This is
another big food chain / store.
Wait, time out. This is the first time we've actually had to break from the podcast and hurry and run because something happened with the equipment. And this first time happened to be Josh spilling his beer.
It's not funny. It's really expensive equipment.
And a really good beer. Okay. Welcome back to the Don't Make It Awkward podcast. I apologize for some technical difficulties. Josh, will you please apologize to our audience?
I am
Just say
sorry.
That's it.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Okay. Josh ruined our mixer with beer. Matt, what were you saying?
Okay, this is another little spin-off, but at a major store, grocery chain, whatever, you always hear the announcement. Can Tammy Johnson or so-and-so come up to the front and claim your lost child? How do you not keep track of your children in a store?
How is
I
this
don't
a
have
spin-off
kids yet.
from fast food?
Well, because the announcement always goes, Brandon? And you're like, wait, was that Brandon or Brian? You can't ever tell what the name was on the thing.
That's true.
Well, all
It's
parents
never
who
clear.
own a Brian or Brandon
So,
would probably
Let
start
me sum
looking.
up what you
would
said.
think.
You hate drive-up speakers.
I hate
No, listen.
microphones.
You hate
That are-
drive-up speakers, okay? And that you can't understand them, and lost children in the store.
No, he
the
hates.
announcement.
Yeah, he hates the
I could
announcement.
care less if your kids, either one of your kids, were lost in
Wow.
Walmart.
Either one of your kids. Your multiple children.
Yes.
One of your, both
Oh,
of you.
both of ours.
Collectively.
The children you and I have had
Okay.
together.
All right, the announcement. Okay. All right. I understand. Okay.
Okay. Hey, so let's take a minute. Matt, you had some pretty damn good ones.
Thank you.
Good job. So, Josh,
Okay.
what do you have to end with?
All right, so I saved hopefully the best for last.
Okay.
So I hate celebrities. Let me explain before you freak out. Okay.
I won't freak.
I actually do like certain celebrities and movies and all that stuff, but I kind of hate the idea of celebrities. Just basically that we are so obsessive about what people are doing. Like, for example, certain Kardashians recently, they have a fender bender, just a small thing, and it's news, and we're trying to figure out what happened. Everybody's okay, and we're kind of getting too, just like I said, too obsessive about celebrities. That's the main thing I hate. I can't say that I hate celebrities without mentioning Nicki Minaj.
Kardashians was one of the
Hey.
first names that came to my mind.
See, and right, and you just start getting obsessive, and then you
it's
start
so
forgetting
publicized.
why they're famous.
It's not necessary. Like, let me try to clarify for you.
Okay, great.
I don't think it's necessarily that you hate the Kardashians, although
Right.
I don't think you
No.
appreciate their work, right? Or Nicki Minaj, right? You don't appreciate her work. It's not that you hate them, but
No.
you hate that people are so in love and obsessed with these celebrities. You hate celebrity worship.
The idea, yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it's not the people. I'm sure if you hung out with them, met them on a date, and just in the regular going about of your day, they'd be okay.
Right, they're nice people.
Right, that's fine. But yeah, just the idea that we get so obsessed,
I'm with you 100%. I mean, and one of our failed podcasts that we ended up not posting,
Yeah.
right, was kind of dealing with this kind of celebrity worship with athletes,
Yeah.
right? And man, like, I'm with you with. I think Hollywood, or I think the entertainment business, just in general, that's including podcasters, right?
Yeah.
Not that we're worshipped by any means. Thank you for not. 'Cause
Right. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous how much money is thrown into entertainment
Mm-hmm.
and how much importance is given to these people when all they do for a living is play a game, or they pretend to be someone else on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not saying they're not good at what they do. It's just annoying how so many people just attach their whole, a bunch of their life to that aspect, and it's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just
Attach
sad.
their life to it, and then how much money, like you said, goes into it. When there's great actors, but I mean, there's also great people who have other jobs too that should be praised.
Just think of how much money goes into any sport, right?
Mhm.
And I love sports.
Yeah.
I love watching professional sports. Just think of how much money is poured into that. If you were to take just half of that money and you pour it into something that all of us, I think, can agree on, something like children's
Schools,
cancer
yeah.
research,
Right.
or pouring into the public education program, where kids can. We could pay our teachers a little bit better,
There's thousands of programs we could pour it into.
Right, and again, I know that the kind of program people might disagree on and freak out. That's where the argument comes in. But I think everyone could agree that we could probably spend more money on A, B, and C instead of entertainment.
Yeah,
But
but it's us that is sporting that bill. That's why.
That's right.
We're why, like, a jazz player, young jazz player, we've had him for like 3 years now. You guys, I'm sure you know who it is. We won't say names though. $64 million for 4 years.
Yeah,
We're all guilty of it, liking a
And
certain celebrity or whatever,
totally agree. But I think that, so acting on that, okay, like I realize I'm part of the problem. Rick, admitting it is the first step, So for me, I refuse to pay for watching sports on television.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a low middle class individual,
Mm-hmm.
so that that's basically what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it's if people were to, and I get it. Like, I'm not trying to say that people who like professional sports or like watching movies that they're bad people, because we all need our own entertainment. It just seems so silly to me that we have so many problems as humanity that we spend so much money on something that is so frivolous.
Yeah. Yep, that's
And I'm with you, Josh.
so. And that's 100% why I brought it up. Just this kind of goes off a little bit, but still the same idea of how we worship celebrities. The really popular song, and it has millions and millions of YouTube hits and probably has made tons of money, is, again, Nicki Minaj, Anaconda. Okay? All right?
Ass clap.
Okay, listen. There's that in the video, but okay, this is the song that's made money, and I'm not a prude, okay?
No, you're not a
I'm
prude.
not a prude, but just listen to these lyrics, and this is the song that has been so famous, and I'm just going to read a few lyrics of this song, okay?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do
okay.
it.
So this is just the first part, and this is...
Wait, can I beatbox behind it?
No, all this property belongs to Nicki Minaj and the recording company, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, yeah, are we going to have trouble with copyright here?
I don't think so. Just go
Okay.
ahead and read it.
All right, so I didn't even think about that. So first part is, boy toy named Troy used to live in Detroit. Big dope dealer money, he was getting some coins. Was in shootouts with the law, but he lived in a palace. Bought me Alexander McQueen, he was keeping me stylish. Now that's real, real, real. Gun in my purse, bitch, I came dressed to kill. Who want to go first? I had them pushing daffodils. I'm high as hell. I only took a half of a pill. I'm on some dumb shit.
Amen.
So, I mean, and I have no problems. I like certain, hip hop, rap music, all kinds. It's just like
It's all trash.
No, that's
well,
not
no,
true.
I don't think so. I don't necessarily think that's true.
I don't either.
There's a lot of rap, and they talk about real life experiences. So that
Who?
just, huh?
Who?
Oh, we're not. That's not this podcast.
Yeah, that's a different. But there are some that talk about. A lot of them do talk about real life experiences where they've had different lifestyles that they've lived. I think that this one just feeds into the media and a certain image that she's supposed to have created.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you.
So
I that's all I can say.
yeah,
is-
so that's just part of it where we feed into it, and then it just happens to be this type of song. So
I think the value we get out of our entertainment is not necessarily worth the money that we put into it.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
so I think it's worth a lot less than what we
Right.
put into it.
yeah.
Okay,
Do you say
that was
this-
kind of heavy.
I didn't realize it was gonna be so heavy.
You are a real downer, Josh.
Don't make it awkward.
That's usually my thing.
I know.
Usually
do you have
I'm-
something to make it?
I
down?
do. I do. Not to downer, like
Okay.
to bring it up
Okay.
a little bit. So this is the last one, right?
All right, great. Yeah,
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
it is a lot of pressure because it's got to be the best.
You know what I fucking hate? Butt zits.
Like way down in the crack type thing.
Just
or like,
in the general like buttocks area.
I can't say that I've ever had a butt zit.
Really?
No.
I would agree with you. Yeah, I've had.
Like
I've
I
had a
don't
lower
want
back.
I don't want people to think that they have to have them to be normal. Nor do I want people to think that, hey, I have them, that means that I'm abnormal. But for me, right, I guess maybe I'm just a sweaty, nasty piece of shit kind of person, right?
I guess,
But-
I am too. Then
But every once, it's not like all the time, but every once in a while, I will get, a butt zit. And maybe it's because I sit down at work a little bit. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's because I just sweat a whole lot, obviously. But
zit.
I hate butt zits. I mean, it's just so, they hurt. They're awkward. I mean,
Do you ever have to clean off the goo on the mirror?
ew.
That's-
That was
that
so
would-
disgusting.
that was
Remember,
really
like,
strange.
like when you pop a
Like
zit
you're talking about for
on
the
your
butt
forehead
zit
on the mirror?
specifically?
Do you ever have that from your butt?
No, how in the hell would I look
I'm just
through
asking
the
if you ever
mirror
have.
and see my ass? Like that makes no
I
sense.
look at my ass in the mirror.
Okay, well, that's not me.
Yeah, I haven't had that experience, but what you will realize with a butt zit is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the time it's a monstrous one. Usually,
Well, it's like, well, maybe it's not, but because every time you sit down, right, you feel it.
It feels
It'd be-
monstrous.
It'd be like having a huge zit on your nose, which I'm sure everyone has had, right? And it's like always pressing your nose against the wall when you have a zit on your nose. Like, of course it would bother you. Anyway, so
that's a heavy topic.
So listen, I just want to throw this out that everyone who has butt zits, I understand you. Josh understands
I understand. Yeah,
Like-
some people like Matt are the lucky few that have
you.
never.
You must have
experienced
like
one.
the most
I've just-
non-sweaty
I'm
ass.
fair skinned ginger.
Do you not sweat?
Yeah. We talked about perspiration earlier with your Crater Lake under your armpit.
so, anyway, I don't know.
What kind of lotion are you using? I probably need to get
Yeah,
some of
do
that.
you lo- do you lotion your
men's
ass?
soap that I use, and I hope we get money for this, is Dove for men.
Really?
The body soap. It's amazing. You feel softer and cleaner.
I use the same, so I'm confused.
Do you really?
Oh.
What kind?
Well, listen, body types are
Non-scented?
always different, though.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
but thank you for the endorsement, Dove. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Hey, I know mine wasn't in depth or anything, but I don't. Do you guys have anything else to say? We're basically running up against time right now.
The last one that I was honestly going to say, and if you guys want to comment on it or not, it was about small things that our spouses do that just drives me crazy.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
It's a long topic. I think we could actually
Yeah.
probably do
I think that's a whole other podcast.
on just that subject.
I mean, totally not. I don't know. There's nothing I
Oh,
can think
yeah,
of.
I don't
Maybe
have
we'll
anything.
save that one for later.
Um,
But there's many from that.
You know,
that
in
I
order to
have
make that fair, we should have spouses on alongside us in order to talk about
To
that.
do
yeah,
that
to
one?
be fair. To be
Be-
fair,
because-
I agree.
have a free for all. Just
Yeah,
go to town
Like
on
a
each
straight
other.
therapy session,
yeah.
That sounds good.
I do have.
unlicensed.
I don't have anything. We don't need to discuss them, but I do have a few honorable mentions. Maybe you do too. I don't know.
No.
Okay,
You go
Just
ahead.
real quick. The ones I was thinking about, I didn't really have much to say, but people who clap when they talk. You know,
Like
when
too
especially when they get angry,
Like
they
too
start
much hand
clapping.
motion?
Yeah, just clapping when they, especially when they get angry. Like, what are you saying to me? You know, they'll start clapping.
That's if you're teaching someone English and you're trying to teach them syllables at the same time.
Yeah, who in the hell does that?
I've never
Uh,
heard anyone do that.
A lot of people do that.
Really?
Yeah, they get really pissed and they start clapping. Just now that I said that, you'll start seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah, so they start.
Things I hate. Like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. When you get pissed at someone, they'll be like, yeah, they'll start clapping, and I'll show you some clips later. And just and wooing at things.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that type, or like whoa, you know, at certain things. But yes, you got it.
The other day.
So you're familiar.
Long story.
Anyway, so there's just honorable mentions. We don't have to discuss them, but just things to think about.
Okay. Still experiencing a little technical difficulties from the beer.
Yeah, maybe.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Anyway, hey, so this was the first, our first relaunch. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
We hope everyone approves. We want you guys to stay tuned and to keep liking us on Facebook. Keep downloading from Buzzsprout and iTunes, please. We really appreciate all the support. Again, if you like what you hear, if you think we're 49% funny and 51% stupid, whatever, we'd really appreciate if people shared, or by word of mouth, or by Facebook, or Twitter, whatever you guys do. You know, we would really appreciate it, because we think it's fun and we like doing it. So we hope other people might enjoy it too.
Well said.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
great.
Hey Matt, thank you so much for coming tonight. We
Thank
appreciate
you guys
it.
for having me.
No problem.
You're
It was
welcome.
fun.
We'll have you back soon, for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.